Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So, this brother, Colin Kaepernick, is being persecuted. He's being persecuted on two fronts. He's being persecuted by his own people, and he's also being persecuted by the NFL. Now, as you all know, in 2016, this brother led a bold and courageous protest against police brutality. To bring attention to that issue, this brother decided that he would not stand during the playing of the national anthem. And for the whole season, this brother refused to stand during the national anthem. And because of that, you had people burning his jersey. You had people calling him unpatriotic, un-American, attacking this brother, condemning this brother, persecuting this brother. And now that this brother has decided that he will no longer continue that protest for this season, now this brother is being persecuted by his own people, condemned by his own people, called a phony by his own people. After this brother sacrificed for his people, now his people are condemning him. Now his people are attacking him. And this is typical. This happens all the time. When you're involved in this work, for social justice, when you are taking a bold and courageous stand, you have to be selfless. You have to understand that your own people are going to persecute you. And that's what this brother is learning today, because his own people are attacking him. And while his people are attacking him, the NFL is blackballing this brother, blacklisting this brother. In the description box, I will include links to several articles that point out how teams are reluctant to pick up this brother, to sign this brother. They're reluctant because they fear the reaction of their fan base. They think that the fans will be outraged if they sign Kaepernick. In fact, you have some teams that hate this brother for taking a stand. Some teams that are against this brother because he refused to stand during the playing of the national anthem. So they are trying to punish this brother. They're trying to make an example of this brother, just like they have made examples out of countless brave black men and women who had the courage to stand up, who had the courage to speak out. They made examples of Brother Malcolm when they killed that brother. They made an example of Medgar Evers when they killed that brother. They made an example of Martin Luther King when they killed that brother. They made an example of Marcus Garvey when they prosecuted and persecuted that brother and deported that brother. And Colin Kaepernick, he's not on those guys' level, but he is still being punished today for taking a stand. You know, Spike Lee raised this point in one of his, in an article that I read. I think it was in the Root or the Griot. He talked about how something is fishy about this brother not being signed. Colin Kaepernick has the necessary skills. There are people who have less skills than this brother who are being signed. This brother should be signed to a team, but they're trying to persecute him, to make an example out of this brother, to break this brother, and to break black people. See, they don't like a bold, courageous black man. They want a weak, punkified, sissified black man. They want a silent black man. They want somebody like a Michael Jordan, a man who earned all this money and had all this fame. But when it came to issues of importance to the black community, this man was quiet. This man didn't have a word to say. This man didn't have a peep to say about the injustice that black people face in this country. The man was rendered silent. He was nothing but a rich slave. And that's what they want to do to all these entertainers, to all these athletes. They want to silence them by making this brother an example of what happens when you speak out. Just like they made an example of Nat Turner when they killed that brother and then dismembered his body to warn people not to ever stand up, not to ever challenge the system. And that's what they're trying to do to this brother. That's what they're trying to do. You have these teams that are made up of primarily African American men. There wouldn't be any real NFL if there weren't black people on that field. But yet they want to treat these black men like black slaves. We got to speak up on this issue. Because if it wasn't for black people, there wouldn't be no football popping right now like it is right now. So we got to speak out on this. We have to make our voices heard. And this is fishy, like Spike Lee pointed out. Something stinks here. They are basically blackballing this brother, blacklisting this brother. And we're not going to stand for it.